Hi, welcome to Frames of Life. My name is Anna. I am a maternity, newborn and family photographer. I am really glad you are joining me today. You know, as a photographer, I've spent so many years of capturing those special moments in people's life. But in between sessions, I heard so many stories about challenges we all face in our families, in our careers, or just in everyday life. That's why I've created this podcast. Each episode, I will sit down with amazing specialists and professionals who will share very practical and actionable tips to help you to navigate life with more clarity and purpose. Think of it this way, just as I frame the perfect shot in my photography work, this podcast is all about to help you to reframe challenges into opportunities. As we all know, life isn't easy, and I know this firsthand, but with the right guidance and perspective, we can all develop tools not only just to get by, but truly thrive. Whether you are planning to improve your family relationships, grow professionally, or just simply get more joy in your daily routine, these conversations offer insights you can actually use. So welcome to Frames of Life, where we explore the art of living well, one conversation at a time. Thank you so much to the room provider, Nationwide Renewables, and my makeup artist, Rasita Stan, for supporting me in my new journey. Thank you, guys. Today's guest is Lena Henderson, mindfulness and intuitive coach for parents. Lena, I'm really happy you are joining us today. Can you please tell us a bit more about your background and what exactly are you specializing in?
Hi, it is a pleasure for me to open your podcast. It sounds like it's going to be an incredibly helpful resource for your audience. As a mindfulness and intuitive teacher, I help parents to bring more peace and connection into their families. As a parent myself, I know very well that children's mental health and emotional well-being is our top priority, especially amidst the global whirlwind of events, of a very fast pace of living and information overload. So I support parents with the tools of mindfulness, mindset, and energy practices so that they could have stronger connection with their children. I have always been passionate about nurturing children. My grandma was a primary teacher, and I think it started there. And all of my professional career, I worked with children. Started as a school teacher, then I worked in different universities. I qualified as yoga instructor for children. I worked for a while, and also a mindfulness teacher. And this broad experience gave me deep insights into how to support children's resilience and well-being in a joyful and impactful way. Over the years, I developed mindful and conscious parenting approach that prioritizes parents' own inner journey. By guiding parents through their own self-exploration, deconditioning, and healing, I empower them to parent with their heart, with less guilt and more joy and confidence. This way of parenting helps you to feel less overwhelmed with daily pressures of parents. For example, did my children have enough vegetables today? Did they have enough fresh air? Did we do enough reading? Have they slept well? And this approach helps parents to allow them to feel a stronger connection with their child in a more open, heart-centered way.
It seems like we all need this kind of coaching and approach, because I remember myself when Vivi was born, I had so much guilt and so much stress within myself exactly about things you are talking about, which is if she had enough food, if she slept enough, if she slept on time. There was all the time stress. I've done that once. Isaac was born, and then I thought, it will be better because I've done that before. But no, I'm going through the same thing with Isaac, like if he was my first baby. So can you tell us a bit more about the actual approach for the parenting? What is your approach for parenting?
My approach centers on two pillars. Number one, be mindful of yourself as a parent. What kind of parent do you want to be? What are your values? What lights you up? And number two, be mindful of your child. What is your child's unique needs, preferences, what lights them up? And I deliver support for parents through, as I mentioned before, healing, deconditioning, and rewriting your story. After working for many years with children directly, I now shifted my focus on working directly with parents and supporting them on their inner journey. And I do this mainly through mindset and mindfulness techniques and also intuitive readings. These intuitive readings help people to really look at themselves very deeply, what kind of wounds they might need to heal, what triggers them as parents, and go on their own inner healing journey. The readings that I deliver, there are 3 different types: soul readings, Akashic Records readings, and human design readings. During these intuitive readings, I use the guidance from Akashic Records. If people are not familiar with what Akashic Records is, it is an energetic dimension. Our soul lives many lifetimes, and Akashic Records is like a huge archive where all information about your past lifetimes is stored, all your actions, thoughts, and feelings.
Lena, I am really happy to hear that actually our soul is going to be there. I was always wondering what's going to happen. Like, I love living so much. I know there is not going to be never the magic button which is going to give us second life physically, but knowing the soul was there and it will be there for many, many years, it's actually satisfying me.
Yes, it is wonderful to know that we lived before and we will live again. And actually, this lifetime that you have is the best lifetime you have yet, because in other lifetimes, you've learned so many lessons already. And here you have this amazing opportunity using all the wisdom that your soul has accumulated from other lifetimes, using and fulfilling all of those experiences and wisdom in your lifetime right now. And it's also encouraging for children as well. If sometimes children go through a phase where they are scared of dying, or they worry that what will happen to them or to the family if you die. My daughter, when she was 4, she went through that phase where literally for a whole month she would be asking me every day. She was so worried. And because I believe that my soul will always be close to her, even when my body is not here, I was just explaining to her, obviously in an age-appropriate way, depending on the age of your child, that you will always feel my love. I will always be somewhere close to you. So don't worry about it, because my love will always be there for you. And she found it very reassuring, and I know other parents have used that technique as well.
That is really amazing example. Thank you so much, Lena. How did you personally discover the human design? We had a conversation at the networking event. You mentioned that it really changed your life. Would you be able to tell us a bit more about this?
Yes, I've learned about human design about 4 years ago when I did an Akashic Records reading for me. And in this reading, I have been shown the information about my life purpose, my gifts, how to fulfill them, my challenges in this lifetime. And there was so much information in this reading for me. It was pulled from different sources, from Chinese I Chi system, from Kabbalah wisdom, human design, and many others. And from all of these sources, I was instantly fascinated by human design. So I started researching about it, looking up the YouTube videos and podcasts and reading books, and just really learning as much as I could about it. I was just obsessed about human design. And when I've learned about it and applied it into my own life, I could honestly say that it transformed me and it transformed my life as well. The way that I connect with my body, the way that I flow with my energy and accept how I'm designed to live and to be present as a parent, as a wife, as a friend. It really helped me to also run my business. And the most important thing is to accept myself. this is how I am, having that awareness and just flowing with my energy so much easier.
Lena, would you be able to let us know what the human design actually is for people who never heard of this before?
Sure. Human design is a self-assessment system. It gives you a chart similar to astrology chart because the information is based on the time and place of your birth. And this chart is your energetic blueprint. The system is a combination of quite a few different ancient wisdoms like Chinese I Chi system, Kabbalah, Hindu chakra system, and also modern science like quantum physics. And this synthesis helps you to understand how to be aligned to your energy, how to be more connected to your body, how to make better decisions that are aligned to you. Because we, as we're living, we go through a lot of different conditioning that comes from our parents, the values and views and energies of our parents that we live in for so much of our life. We have conditioning that comes from DNA, and also we have conditioning through life experiences that we have. What happens to us affects us. So we might decide, oh, I'm not good at singing, so I'm not going to go sing in a choir with my friends, or I'm not a leader, so I'm not going to apply for this job. So these are all conditioning patterns that we kind of we've written the story for ourselves and we believe this is who we are. And human design helps you to see actually how you are designed and what traits and gifts you have. And it helps you to then shift that conditioning so that you could rewrite your story and work, starting even from daily practices, how to work with your energy and how to feel more empowered in your own story.
This definitely would be helpful for me. I don't know if we can relate to that, but many times I had situations that I was going for certain things, trying to challenge myself, but it just did not feel right. The only thing I gave myself, it was a headache. It was a really stressful situation. And sometimes even I made myself very poorly. It would be, I think, really great to know what can I actually do to feel more aligned and empowered.
Yes, I think it can affect everyone because, again, because of the conditioning, we are programmed to think that we all have to work 9 to 5, otherwise we're lazy. We have to finish everything we start, otherwise that is not a productive way. We have to use our brain to think through everything because that is a good way of living. If you have a project, you need to really plan through rationally all the outcomes of it because that's a successful, productive way. But actually, we are all very different and we're designed to live in different ways. So I'll just give you an example of how human design helped me. Just a simple example. One of the key things you learn in human design is what is your energy type. There are 5 different types, and some energy types, they are energized, they wake up, they already have their energy to use through the day. It's basically about 80% of the population. And then there are other types who don't have their own energy, and they have to find how to amplify their energy from different ways. So it can be sometimes tricky. I'm one of those types who doesn't generate my own energy. My type is called projector, and I'm designed here not to do, but to be. I'm designed here to be a guide, a teacher, a consultant for people, and my power is to read people. I amplify other people's energies, so I'm able to read their energy and help them to alleviate their limiting beliefs or whatever stories, whatever difficulties that they're having. But with my type, because I don't produce my own energy and the work that I do is very energy intense, we need to rest a lot. So these types projectors, they're known to have a burnout because we feel like we have to work like everyone else, 9 to 5, and we try to do that, but actually we're forcing our body to work a lot more than we're able to do. So after learning that and accepting myself and my energy, I started to really listen to my body a lot more. And I've learned that when my body is tired, I need to have a break. So I don't feel guilty anymore if I have a 20-minute nap in the afternoon, or if sometimes I wake up in the morning, I feel tired. So after I dropped off my daughter at school, I might come back home and have another 30-minute sleep. I don't feel guilty anymore, because after practicing this for the last 4 years, I know that when I do feel energy and I feel empowered, I will do so much more in that amount of 3-4 hours. I will be multitasking, I will do really, really deep work than if I was just forcing myself to sit and tell myself I have to be productive, I have to write this, I have to do this. So with the trial and error, I can now trust that this is how my energy works. And I also develop different routines in the morning and in the evening to really come back to my energy and just check in with how I am doing, because we give so much as women, as parents through the day, so it's important to come in and check in. Okay, so this is me again.
Lena, this is so helpful. Even if I could only take this one thing, what we were talking about just now, from this whole podcast, that would be amazing. Seriously, so much value.
So my daughter knows a little bit about human design, and it was so funny the other day. She said, "Mummy, I think my friend is a manifester," which is another type. So she is a generator, which is an energized type, and she is very energetic. She has gymnastics competition today. So she said, "I think my friend is a manifester because she's very creative. She likes to draw a lot, but she gets really tired to do physical games." And I was just so delighted of her awareness. We don't know, we haven't done human design for her friend, but the important thing here is, first of all, she was aware of her energy and what she enjoys. And also this awareness gave her an understanding, a deep understanding of her friend and how to be more open and what games to play with her friend. I find that this is really helpful for children as well. And in the future, I'm planning to run a course for parents based on human design called Parenting by Design that will encompass all of the charts. So you will know the charts and the types of all of your family members, and you will then be able to know how best to tweak the dynamics in your family so that everybody in your family could work with the energy and be aligned.
I am just so fascinated. Seriously, I could just listen to you all the time because while you're talking about your daughter, I've got also example of my daughter. So Vivi is 6, as you know already, and she is trying to be really perfect in everything.
Right.
To the point that when they started learning at school computing, she was so stressed only because she didn't understand everything. The teacher also, because they have many children to keep eye on, could not always be there for her. And she was crying every day. She had a computer lesson. So I think this what you are talking about now, it would be just so amazing if we just practice a bit more. Because by now she has understanding that she doesn't have to be good in everything. And I was really trying to explain her that if you ask, the more you ask, the more you know. But also, even if you ask many times and then you're still not great at what you're doing, it's okay. You don't have to be perfect in everything. But look, you are perfect in gymnastics, because she also, loves gymnastics, and she's really, really good. So yes, I'm really, really grateful for this reassurance from you, Lena. Lena, many people think mindfulness requires hours of meditation. I am the best example because I've been trying to do meditation for so long, but just only purely because of the fact that I think it takes a lot of time. I haven't started. What are the 2-3 minutes practices, or like really short practices people could implement in their lives? Like, what would you recommend?
Yes, there are different types of mindfulness, and there is formal mindfulness, and meditation is one of them that does require some time. And obviously, you can meditate anytime from 2 minutes to hours. But also, there is informal mindfulness, and I'm really passionate to show the informal mindfulness to parents because all it is just changing your perception of what you do and your attitude towards all different situations. And I help people to see how to do things they already do in life, but how to do them more mindfully. And that doesn't require any extra time in the day because obviously we are so busy. So some of the examples that I like to share that are very effective is, first of all, mindful waking up. When we wake up, often, what do? The first thing, we reach for the phone, and then we get influenced by all the messages from our family, news from the world. Then we carry on having breakfast, influenced by our family dynamics, by our children. So we're already immersed into the world. We already sort of lost our awareness of ourselves even at the beginning of the day. So what I recommend parents to do is just simple things. First of all, check in with your body. You just woke up, you're still in bed. Just literally one question: how does my body feel? And just check in. Do you have any stress anywhere? Do you have any tension? Or I might be feeling a bit tired today, so I might cancel this workout later on. Or actually today I feel quite energized and I might just want to go for a walk during lunchtime today instead of just sitting by the computer. So check in with your body first. Secondly, with your mind, check in with your mind. How do I want to carry myself into the day today? So that you project your day for yourself. You might feel, well, I actually haven't laughed for a while. I want to feel a bit more joyous today. So I want to spend a bit more time with children, for example, in the evening and play board game or just do something fun and laugh and smile. Or you might think, actually, today I have a lot of meetings planned, so I just want to be really focused so that I don't go over time and I still finish all my work on time and then I can go home and spend time with family. So you decide what are your priorities for today and how you project yourself into the day. And that awareness of yourself helps you to not be lost and helps you to stay connected with who you are. So this is just mindful waking up before you take all these influences from the world. Another simple thing is mindful drink. So if you enjoy having a coffee or tea first thing in the morning, I love to just sneak in before everybody wakes up and just have a drink of coffee in the garden. Listening to the birds, really taking in all the smells, smelling the drink first, and just really, again, just like say a few minutes of great gratitude. Thank you for this delicious drink that I have. Thank you for the place where I live. Thank you for this sunshine that I'm feeling on my skin right now. And lastly, another thing that we all do every day is a shower. Have a shower mindfully. So when you are in the shower, try to be aware that actually, let's just focus on my body now. Because most of the time we live in our head, in our thoughts. So we might be having a shower and thinking about, what do I need to do with my child? Who's cooking dinner? Like all this family, you've invited them in the shower with you. So it's better just to have a shower with yourself. So just try to focus on your body, and first of all, maybe just water, how the water really warms your body and how it gives you this sense of coziness and comfort and freshness and nourishment. Focus maybe on the smell of your favorite shampoo or conditioner and why you've chosen it and why you love it and how it really nourishes your skin and your hair. Literally just a few minutes of just being present with your body, that really helps you to feel more nourished and relaxed, again, before you take yourself into a busy day.
Being present.
Yes.
This is another thing which is so important to hear. I would probably say every day, because being so busy, and especially when you have children, I think we are forgetting it really, really easily. As you say, there is so many things to think about that even when you are having shower, we are not having shower, with ourselves. We are having shower with the whole family. And it is true. Being present, that's another thing which I'm going to take out today for myself. Thank you.
And actually, this is what mindfulness is. Mindfulness is about being present with your body, with your mind, and with your soul. It's not meditation. It's about being present.
Thank you for clarifying. I think this is also very important. As we all know, parents are always worrying about our children. And as I told you before, I thought because I've done that before, I am going to be more chilled out this time. No, I'm not. Can you please advise, perhaps you have any simple techniques parents can implement in their lives just to help themselves a bit to be less stressed about our children?
Yes, it definitely is a roller coaster, the parenting journey. It has so many delights, but also we suddenly are dawned by this big feeling of worrying for this other life that we've created and we're nourishing in this lifetime. Worries are big parts of our thoughts. So this is where the mindset techniques help with regulating worry. Worry is a type of thought, and it's very easy for us to be feeling so deeply grasped by this thought. But actually, if you realize that thoughts are just mental events that come and go, they're not you. And it's even helpful to reframe your language rather than saying, I'm worried, to say, I feel worried. Instead of I'm angry, I feel angry, because that helps you to distance yourself from your thoughts. Because we are so much more than just thoughts. We're emotions, we're thoughts, we're actions, we're our connections with people. We are not only thoughts. So mental events, they come and go. And mindfulness helps you to first of all pause and just become aware of what I'm thinking. And then when you're aware, is it helpful for me? And then how can I let go of it? How can I regulate this thought? So worries, we tend to worry sometimes about what happened. Did I do it correctly? Did I say the right thing? And often we worry a lot about the future. The thing that's helpful to know about our brain and about thoughts is that 90% of our thoughts are not true. We just create this picture. This is what's going to happen. But actually, how truthful is that? So just to show you how our brain always wants to have an answer and how quickly it creates a picture in your mind, I'd like to do this fun activity. You don't need pen and paper. I usually do it with children at school and they write their answers, but you don't need pen and paper. And it's literally just 4 questions. So I'm going to just ask you these 4 questions. Just try to remember your answers and we'll see what happens.
Sure.
So the activity is called Sam's Story. So the first question is going to be about Sam. So imagine Sam is going on a bus. So I would like you to imagine what Sam looks like, what age is Sam, and who is Sam? So there is a little bit more information. Sam is holding a teddy in her arms. So again, imagine what Sam looks like, the age of Sam, and who Sam is. The next setting, Sam is really looking forward to see her granddaughter today. So who is Sam now? What is her age? What she looks like. And the last piece of information, Sam is feeling quite tired after her swimming competition. So who is Sam? Her age? What she looks like. Okay, so I would like you to just come back to the first answer, the first picture of Sam that you had. What did Sam look like in the first?
I even didn't know if it's a boy or girl.
Yes.
I didn't have a clue about age, so I was just thinking someone, a woman, I probably was thinking woman, is going somewhere on the train. I was thinking probably around age of 30. without even like no information, but that's what I was thinking in my head.
Yeah, yeah. And has that picture of Sam and the age, has that changed as you were receiving more information?
Absolutely. Every time you were giving more information, the picture was completely changing. This is absolutely amazing example, and it's going to be definitely one of my favorites. Yes, we are creating in our heads so much, and it's sometimes not necessarily. So the second piece of information you gave, it was with the teddy, right?
Yes, yeah.
So then I thought, still it was a girl, but it was a girl age of 5 being on the train going somewhere, maybe to see grandparents.
Yes.
But then you gave another piece of information, which you were saying that Sam is going to see granddaughter.
Yes.
So then I thought it's a grandma
Yeah.
going to see.
It can't be a girl.
Yes. And then the last piece of information you gave, it was a competition,
Yes.
swimming competition. So then it just completely ruined my picture. This is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, so it just shows you the power of our mind, how quickly it creates this picture, but also how untrue it can be. So when we worry about our children, so I'll give you an example. When I was worried about my daughter, she had a dress-up day. It was a World War II dress-up day, so she decided we didn't buy a costume, and she had some different outfit. But when she came to school, she saw lots of children had costumes and they had accessories, bags and all these things. And she felt a little bit shy that maybe she didn't feel like she was dressed up properly. And they were going on a big trip out to the museum, Second World War museum. So I checked in with her and she seemed okay. She was just a bit shy as I left her. And then I came home and obviously I had a whole day planned of work to do. And I just felt so worried about her that she might not enjoy her day today, that she might feel upset, that, you know, she's not having a good costume. And after about 5-10 minutes, I became aware of my thoughts and how these thoughts are not helping me to focus on my work. So I decided to pause and just kind of sit with that situation. I realized that, first of all, I'm not helping myself or her or anybody else by just sitting here and worrying. Secondly, that is not true what I create in this picture, that she is going to have a bad time, because I don't know. So I sat with myself and I decided to let go of that. And there are different techniques to do that. There is grounding technique. There are, you know, simple self-compassion breaks. You can see I have all these techniques in my online group for parents on Facebook, so you can tap into that and watch the videos of it. And I let go. I managed to let go of these thoughts and these feelings, and then I focused on my work. When I saw my daughter, when I collected her at the end of the day, I was expecting to say that she didn't have a good time, and she said, "Oh yeah, I had a lovely day today, Mommy." And I said, "Oh, was it okay with your costume?" She said, "Yeah, it was fine." I was like, phew. I could have just sat there worrying all day, and really it wasn't true at all.
How can parents remain mindful of their own reactions while having very challenging situations with their children?
Yes, that does happen regularly when we parent. And I would like to break it into a few stages and start with, first of all, checking in with yourself. How are you feeling yourself? Do you think you might be a bit tired, or you might be on the edge because you didn't have a good sleep? You might be hungry, or maybe you're just dreading to have this difficult conversation with one of your family members. So first of all, it's just helpful to be aware of how you are. Have you filled your own emotional cup today? And if you feel like you might be a little bit tired, or you are not quite emotionally filled, it might be a good idea to just do something positive for yourself first, so that you refill your emotional cup, and maybe listen to a music that is really helping you, that you enjoy, or just stand outside for a couple of minutes in the garden if it's a lovely day. So just check in with yourself first. How am I? Is there anything I can do to help myself first? Secondly, the appropriate expectations of our children. Often we expect our children to behave like adults, and we are forgetting that their brain is not fully developed. We expect them to sit still a lot of the time, which is not possible for them physiologically. We expect them to make rational decisions, but actually the cognitive rational part of the brain, prefrontal cortex, doesn't get fully developed until we're 25. So until 25, you're not mature enough mentally to be able to think of consequences of your actions now. So it is helpful for you to just become realistic about what can I expect from my child in this situation, and be aware that they're actually having a difficult time right now themselves. We all want to raise children who are independent, who are able to express their views, their emotions, who are able to say no to the situations or people that are not feeling right for them. So that's a very long-term goal. If we want to raise people like that, that means that we need to treat them like, not like they're our own and they're supposed to behave and think like we are, but they are mini adults, their own individuals, and we've been trusted to raise them. We're their guardians to raise them. Our children have chosen us, which means that they want to learn something from us as parents, but also they're here to teach us something as well. So when we see our children as their own individuals with their own difficulties and preferences, it helps us to not have that expectation, that certain expectation that you need to reply to me in a certain way, or you need to zip up your coat in the way that I always do. So it just helps us to give them a bit more openness about their own reactions and behaviors. When you are in this difficult situation, usually you can't plan much, it happens, your child might have an emotional outburst. So the steps that are helpful in that situation is, first of all, help them to understand that you are on their side. So come down onto their level, sit next to them, meet their eyes, and just really listen openly. Just really listen without your own expectations and trying to understand and having to figure out the reason. Just really take in what they're saying to you, because even though like this jug of water has fallen down and you know you can wipe it up and it happened in your life 100 times, for your child right now, it's a disaster, it's a catastrophe. So really just be open and hear them, what they're trying to tell you. And then validate their feelings. Just say something like, I can see that you're upset that this jug of water has just fallen out. I can see that you're upset that you're having your wet clothes and it probably doesn't feel nice on your body. So you are validating that what they're feeling is important to them. It's important. And that way you've already showed them that you're on their side, so that the edge of their emotional feeling is slowly going to go down. And then the next step is to connect with your child. So you could give them an option rather than say, do you want a hug? They might instantly say no, because they're still in that difficult emotional zone where everything you say or everything that happens is bad and they're in defensive mode. So instead, just have an open question and ask them. And just say, I'm just going to sit here, and if you want a hug, I'm here. So that they feel they're in control in this situation that feels like for them that they're helpless. Or you could ask them, do you want me to stay here with you, or shall I leave and just wait in another room? Do you want a bit of time for yourself? And just by giving your child a choice, you're helping them, you're giving them space to process their own emotion and give them time to regulate their emotion. And they might not reply to you, but if they haven't responded defensively, that's already a positive reply. And eventually they probably will want to give you a hug. It's very important that we don't just leave the room ourselves, that we ask them so that they feel that connection, we're there. It's very important in that moment for a child to feel that you're a grown-up and you hold space for them. you're strong. It's also important to show that we're not affected emotionally. Sometimes it can be so much for us that we might start crying, we might get getting upset, and actually then we change the focus on ourselves. So then your child needs to think about, oh, mummy is upset, now I have to help mummy. Whether we as an adult actually have to hold space for them. Right now, my child is upset, I'm sitting here for her. I'm going to think about my own emotions later. She needs me right now. So they need to feel safe, that you hold that space for them. You are being a strong grown-up for them. And if you feel that in this situation, it's a little bit too difficult for you to stay calm and hold the space for your child, then it is okay for you to give yourself a priority and regulate yourself first. So if you feel like you need a minute to calm down because you're just about to shout or react to your child, which is not going to be helpful, just try to say, okay, I'm feeling quite upset right now, or I'm getting frustrated, or I'm feeling angry. You are modeling for your child how to express emotions. So just see, I'm feeling frustrated right now, so I'm just going to take 3 deep breaths so I can calm down and continue listening to you. And just do those 3 breaths. And again, it's a beautiful way for you to model to your child how to regulate your emotions. And it may be hard, and they can see it, that you are doing it. They will relate to you because they can see that, oh, it's not only the children that struggle, it's also hard for parents too. I remember doing a mentoring session for a 5-year-old boy who was very worried. He had lots of difficult situations, like he couldn't even go to birthday parties because he was too scared. And when I told him about worries, he said, yes, but adults don't have worries, only children do. So it was a big eye-opening moment for him to realize that his mummy worries too, and his math teacher who he was scared of. So it's really helpful for children to see that we also have emotions and we sometimes find it hard. So if you can breathe right there with them, that's great. If you feel that actually you need a minute away from your child, just tell them rather than just leaving them without telling them. Just say, I'm feeling very frustrated right now. I need to calm down, so I'm going to leave in the room next door for 1 minute. I'm going to calm down and then I'm going to come back and stay with you. So that helps children to see how to regulate their emotions as well. And hopefully by the end of the situation, you will have both come down and you can have a beautiful connection time, have a hug or maybe a giggle and a little laugh together.
Lena, would you be able to tell us a bit more how parents can become less triggered, again, in very stressful situation, and rewrite their style of parenting?
Yes. We have a lot of triggers sometimes that come out in our parenting. So for example, I thought I was a very patient person before my baby arrived, and when my daughter was small and we did all these creative and craft and art sessions, I was so looking forward to do art with her because I went to art school myself. I bought all these books, all these resources. I thought we'll have such a lovely time. We'll be painting, she'll be enjoying it, I'll be enjoying it. And in fact, as you know, if you are doing an art session with a toddler, it takes you an hour, if not more, to prepare everything. Then they just will mess it all about, they'll have fun time, and then you have an hour of tidying up to do. And I found that actually that is quite a stressful situation for me. It's so hard for me to cope with all this messiness, and actually it's not how I was expecting it at all. So I've learned a lesson for myself that I was getting triggered by how messy it was. She'd put all these colors together, make them into this gray color, mixing all these colors, and it wasn't beautiful. It wasn't clean and tidy. We didn't have a joyful time. So I had to really be open with myself and ask myself, why am I triggered about this messiness? Why am I not enjoying this? Because my daughter had a lovely time. Why am I not enjoying this? Sometimes we might have a fear of water. We really don't want to go into swimming in the sea with children. And all these patterns, even though we sometimes are very good at hiding them and putting a brave face and pretending that we're enjoying it, energetically, intuitively, children feel our energy very quickly. So we are imprinting on them this fear of not being messy or fear of water. So it's really important, if you want to really create an open space for your child to be nurtured and to have less conditioning for them, it's important for you to do your own healing journey and your own deconditioning. Why is it that I'm triggered? Why is it that I'm scared of this so much? And intuitive readings that I offer to parents and individuals really help you to go very deep to find out, why am I having this fear or this block or limiting belief? It could be something that you have difficult relationship with your family member, with your mom, that you get triggered every time you see them, or it could be that you feel stuck with finances, or people are struggling with fertility. There are obviously lots of different things. So intuitive readings, you are able to really go deep and see when it started. So for example, in one of the intuitive readings I did, the lady came to me with a chronic fatigue syndrome, and she wanted to get some help and healing with that. So what I saw tuning in into the Akashic records, that actually her energy doesn't flow very well, because in her mental center, in her Ajna center, she has so many thoughts and ideas, and she feels overwhelmed because she puts all this mental pressure on herself, all the things that she wants to do, and the energy gets blocked there and it doesn't flow through her energy, so her body is not flowing very well. And then we also looked into this block, what it's linked to. So for her, it was linked to her low self-worth. I've asked the question when it started, and sometimes it leads me to your childhood experience and I can see the situation exactly when it started, or sometimes it takes you to a past lifetime. So for her, it was a past lifetime experience, and I saw this situation when she was a little girl, and her mom was very critical how she splashed her dress. And as I was telling her the situation that I saw, she started crying because she said, "You're just describing my mother in this lifetime. Can it sometimes repeat?" And it can repeat quite often. If you haven't dealt with that block in another lifetime, through the soul memory, it can get repeated again. So we could have tricky relationship with our mother through many, many lifetimes. And so we were able to see the reason why she has this low self-worth, because of all this criticism that her mother has put her through her childhood. And because of that, she doesn't have good boundaries with people around her, and especially with her boy. And she does overgiving, overcompensating, and her body doesn't cope with it because she needs to address her low self-esteem. She needs to hold her boundaries stronger. So no wonder that she doesn't have much energy. It gets blocked, first of all, in her mental center because she puts so much pressure on herself, and then this self-esteem, which is in sacral, in one of the centers, that really doesn't help, because all the energy she's giving, she's just draining her energy. So after years and years of doing that, of course, she developed this physical illness that was creating her even more stress in her life because she had even less energy. So it's really helpful to see what are the reasons, and then we'll go through the healing tips of what you can do right now, how you can hold your boundaries, what other things you could cancel, how you can shift those blocks so they don't affect you right now in this life.
What can I say? I'm really looking forward to my reading. I really am. Lena, I am getting really stressed in the morning. I think as many of parents when there is a school run.
Yeah.
And I am trying to work on it every single day, but it's very hard. Sometimes I feel like I wake up early enough, but it's not enough. Can you please share 2 or 3 mindfulness practices for parents to prevent this kind of situations?
So the simple tips that I know have helped a lot of parents in the past. First of all, plan extra time. We live in a very short-paced, fast-paced life. But children are not designed to do things fast. They don't have a sense of urgency. They need time to walk, to eat. They just need longer time to do all these things because they're learning so much. They need more time on their walk to school because they have to process all their colors, the wind. They have to ask you all these questions. So we try to fit in children in our fast pace of living, when in fact we decided to have this beautiful life in our life. So we need to readjust. So I would recommend to plan more time for you to get ready, more time for you to take time to get to school, so that your expectation doesn't ruin your day. Secondly, the expectations. We expect sometimes children to think or behave in the same way as we do because we don't know anything else. So we expect them to enjoy these beautiful colors as we're walking in the autumn, the beautiful leaves. But if they are not as visual as you are, they might be enjoying something else. So they might not button their coat in the same way that you do. They might do it from the bottom up rather than top down. So try to let go of the expectations and really just be open and just really learn from them. Oh, okay, there is this way of doing the shoelaces. What else can you do? Try to just be as open as you can and just watch how they do things, how they behave. They are their own people, their own individuals. And talking about expectations, I'd like to give you a quick example about my daughter of how our expectations sometimes create the tension and the stressful situation. So we were rushing to school and I noticed that my daughter had a stain on her jacket. So I said, oh, let me just clean it up. And my daughter said, Mummy, stop making me perfect. And I was like, yes. So I quickly thought what to say, and I said to her, you're right, you're already perfect. I just wanted your jacket to be clean. And then afterwards, I thought, well, what would happen if she went to school with a stain on her jacket? Absolutely nothing would happen. And I was so proud that she was so content with herself. Her identity is not linked to how she's dressed. You know, that's not Nina if she has this jacket or the other jacket. So it's not linked to her clothes, how she looks. And she had that confidence to tell me what she thinks, because I, as a child, as an 8-year-old, I wouldn't have that confidence to tell my mom, stop doing this, you know, because I'm already happy. So my expectation of her having this beautiful, perfect outfit wasn't realistic, and actually it didn't really matter for anybody in the world. So it was a really useful lesson for me to let go sometimes of the expectations. Also, the calming techniques can be helpful in the moment when you're feeling really frustrated. So if you feel like you're just about to lose, you're in the car, the children are fighting at the back, just see if you could just really breathe or count to 10. If you are walking somewhere or in a queue in a shop with the children, the grounding really helps. Just feel how the ground supports you. Just feel the connection of how your feet are touching the floor. And just breathe out all these thoughts and emotions that you're feeling right now into the Mother Earth. And just think about it. Mother Earth is supporting you no matter what. No matter what thoughts are in your head right now, no matter what you're feeling, it is always there for you. So just feel that connection and just ask Mother Earth to just give you a little bit more of energy, a little bit more of calmness. For children, I have a similar technique called the power in your feet, where they imagine this mat that is magical, that takes away all their dense negative thoughts and emotions. So it's really, really effective and very quick as a calming technique. And lastly, humor and lightheartedness always help, because there's just very, very quick way to connect with our child. So I notice that sometimes if I make a silly face, or if I talk in a funny voice, or if I try to make fun of myself, it really breaks that tension. And every time I've been silly with my daughter, or even just giving them a tickle, something very quick and very simple. Every time I've been silly, my daughter afterwards told me, "Mommy, I love you." And it's just that little sign of, unstaged, just that little connection that you have. So it always helps to very quickly break the tension as well.
It is true. And I remember when we were walking to school in a rush, I think at that time we had only one car. So my partner took a car to work. We were walking, always late, maybe not late, but you just feel like
Rushing.
you are, yes, late and you are rushing. And I just found this so hard because I felt really guilty. Why would I be rushing her? It's me who didn't plan the day properly.
Yeah.
She doesn't understand. So I had downloaded on my phone audiobook, and I don't know how it happened, but on the way back when I was walking by myself already, I had a little cry. I called my partner and I was just saying, like, I feel so guilty for rushing them to school. It's not their fault. We finished conversation. I started listening to audiobook. I finished somewhere before. And then at that time, in that moment, the lady was explaining how to deal with the rush. And she suggested really simple technique. Turn it into joke, like you are now suggesting. And instead of rushing, we were next day still, walking very fast, but we were all bees and we were just, in a race, who is going to get there first. And this little thing, but I still feel like it should be constantly listened to and like on repeat, because it really helps. We keep forgetting things, simple things like this, which can really help us manage life to be more pleasant.
Absolutely.
Lena, you mentioned you have some resources for children. Would you be able to tell us more? What are they?
Yes, I would love to. I have created quite a lot of different resources for children. I think one of my gifts is to adapt mindful techniques for adults and make them fun and engaging for children. So there are a lot of meditations that are small, lots of breathing techniques. So for example, we have Spider-Man technique or lion breath. We have food meditation, sound meditation. So lots of different calm challenges and games to play with your child to help them to be more connected to their body, understand how their body is feeling, to be more connected with their emotions, and also regulate their thoughts and emotions. I also have created an album of meditations for children called Peaceful Discoveries. All of these resources can be found in my group on Facebook for parents and also on my website. The meditations for children, they are just an audio resource that you can listen on your phone with children, and they have been recorded professionally, and the music has been created especially for every single meditation. It's called Peaceful Discoveries because in every meditation, child goes to a special place. So there is a chummy forest meditation, or a mermaid palace or night castle. So while they're discovering this magical place, actually they're also discovering themselves, because we pause and I ask them questions like, "Oh, what do you feel when you're floating on the clouds? What do you feel in your body?" Or "What is your favorite pet that is going into space with you right now?" The meditations also come with a guide and the calm challenges afterwards, so that it guides you through talking about the different questions and connecting. So what you've seen in the meditation, often parents start talking about their childhood experiences, and it creates a really beautiful space for children and parents to connect together and rediscover themselves. So these guided meditation, they're designed to help children to learn the calming techniques, to relax before sleep, to develop their concentration, to strengthen their imagination, confidence, and deepen their connection with their family members.
We talked about services you are offering to children. Have you got any services to help parents?
Absolutely. I do a lot of work with parents right now. So I offer intuitive readings that I have mentioned about before, soul readings, Akashic Records readings, and human design readings. I run human design workshops for individuals to learn more about their design. And also what's coming up, I'm very excited about it, is the course for parents, Parenting by Design, where I will be able to guide parents looking at all of their family charts of human design and how to tweak the dynamic within the family that will suit every single type so that everybody in their family can be aligned with their energy.
That's amazing, very exciting. What is the one small change parents could implement today to bring more consciousness in their parenting?
I think the one thing I would recommend is to change your perception of you as a parent. You really are the best parent for your child. Your child have chosen you to be their parent so that they could learn certain things from you and they could teach you certain things in this lifetime as well. So your child doesn't need a perfect parent. They just need you with all your beautiful quirkiness and imperfections and the life experiences that you're going to go with your child in this life. So it's really important for us to just be aware that we don't have to worry about the mistakes we make, that we're not ideal. As long as you realize you've made a mistake, you can say sorry for the mistake, and you can explain to a child why you feel that that wasn't the right thing to say or to do, and learn from this lesson. Children are so forgiving. They really just want your time and just want you as yourself. So the best thing you could give to your child is yourself who is happy, content, healed, who's able to hold this open, beautiful space for your child to grow.
Lena, thank you so much. You just ended this podcast so beautifully. I don't think that I need to add anything. It was amazing to have you as a guest in the first podcast, and I'm really hoping that I will see you again. Thank you so much.
It was a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.